Alright, got it moved out to the car from the wall. Got this screwed back in, clamped in a few spots. I'm gonna go downstairs in the basement and break out the windshield before I go making the structure I want to build for the jig I want to build so we can relocate the A-pillars again. But the problem I'm having is when I took out the old dash pad or dash panel and cowl panel, I noticed here there's a like 400 thousandths gap from the panel to the original A-pillar. But here's the kicker: on the driver's side, it doesn't have that gap. It's actually pretty tight down in there, which is not too bad. Well, I mean, the fit up there is great. Around in here, where the curves and stuff are on here, it doesn't fit too bad. It's actually pretty flat throughout. Had to bang that up a little bit to get that in there. This is all clamped up and all that stuff pretty good and clecoed in. But as for the gap over on that side, I have a feeling it was built like that because here's the old one. As you can see, the old one here looks pretty nice. It's not too corroded. Got some stuff in the media blast. It all looks fairly decent from the way it was. Go to the other side here. This is the passenger side. Notice how rusted it is? So as I said, I think that gap was built in there from the factory. But I'm going to grab the windshield and give it a test fit again and see if I need to move that pillar outboard of the center line of the car to maybe make this fit a little better down in here, get that gap closed. If that's the way it's supposed to be, guess what? It's going to be filled with a lot of panel bond, and we're going to hope for the best on that one. Alright, so we got the windshield very poorly installed in here. And this side, as I thought, fits pretty damn good. Take a look down in there, see if we get this focused. Raise the shutter speed up a little bit. Hey, there we go, you actually kind of see it. Yeah, the gap looks pretty good down here. It all fits up nice. Kind of neat. Kind of where I expected it to be. So let me go on the other side here. And it's going to definitely show that this pillar is way out of whack. There we go. So, maybe when I go cut this thing apart, I can probably get this pillar and move over this way a little bit, but it's going to be kind of tough. Probably going to have to cut all this welding stuff that I welded back in there to keep the structure where it should be. Cut that out, lengthen it, do what I got to do. And then also, maybe add a little piece of extension to move it outboard toward the center line of the car. Yay! Isn't it fun working on little cars? Alright. Alright, so this is what's underneath the cowl panel. This is what I was talking about where I think it needs to be come out, like I said, towards the outboard of the center line of the car. As you can see here, where it's welded into the lower plenum for where the airbox and all is, where the HVAC stuff goes. You can see how far overlap that is over the A-pillar support compared to the driver's side. Surprisingly enough, the driver's side is not even welded very well in there, so we have to fix that. As you can see, it's only a very minuscule amount compared to the passenger side. So I'm kind of hoping maybe I can just cut off this, like I said, the support structure that I welded in there to keep the car from falling apart. I should be able to hopefully, this is the new one, slide this over that way and take up that remaining gap. Here's the kicker on where the door bolts to. This is in its relaxed state, not forced anywhere. Hammer back in spot. Notice how much more overlap there is in here for originally where it was. So maybe slice that off there, and hopefully maybe we can pop it out maybe just by hand. As I was saying, that there's like a 400 thousandths gap from when the cowl vent panel's on there, and notice this door pillar here is in this relaxed state. What's my side? Shows about the difference from the A-pillar all the way out. It's around 400 and some odd thousandths, almost 500 thousandths out. So we're going to start cutting out the inside here, and maybe find spot welds around here and cut them out. So I think the best course of action is going to be, I'm going to try to cut off the outer part here to at least expose the substructure underneath here, because this little thing's just like a little cap. Little cap that goes in there like that. Rotate the side there so you can see the whole thing. Cap that goes on, as you can see, it's completely missing. The bottom part there has been gone, it's been rusted off. And plus also this was patched pretty shittily before, as you see by the butt weld that goes across here. And so I'm going to take off these little tack welds here along the side. And then I'm going to take a 40 grit flap wheel and just come along the edge here, grind that off. And hopefully that should just peel off enough so I can see what's underneath here. Hopefully get to the spot welds here, and maybe I could probably just maybe manhandle it and pull it out this way. And if that does happen, if I can manhandle it that way, you can probably weld a piece in there to keep it locked into place. I don't think it's going to mess up too much though with the door itself for way it's going to close and all that. Just because there's so many shims and stuff with so much adjustment in the doors, you can do whatever. Even especially with the fender where it gets bolted up to like right about here. On a side note, cool little thing, since it's all completely open, a lot of people don't get a chance to see it. On these cars, there's a little flapper door in here that's for the outside air versus outside of recirculation. So typically, blower box sits here, air sucks in from the top for fresh air, comes through a blower mower, goes to the heater box, and through the HVAC stuff. But when you're on recirculation, this is the hole here where the air from the inside of the car comes in, comes up to the blower mower because this little flapper door is closed. But when I go to replace the rocker here, there's a little support somewhere right about in here on the rocker. And the driver's side, believe it or not, doesn't have the same thing. What I think that's for is literally just an air stop. No other reason. Because the entire rocker here is all the way goes open all the way back to here, and there's a drain hole on the inside there of the inner rocker that's open. So I think that's the only reason why those supports are there. Just cool, just a little bit of information that I think figured out. Alright, got the door back on, or at least the frame, fender back on, and look at that. You got almost no gap there, and this is the new cover that's going to go on when I do the structure underneath. But what I did was end up cutting everything apart, put a little 1/2-inch spacer inside there. Alright, let's focus. 1/2-inch spacer, put a couple tack welds on the inside to hold the shape so I can put that in. Put the spacer in here. Move this over almost a good 1/2 inch, and now I have to go downstairs and bring the windshield back up again to see the fit. The reason why I put the fender back on and the door back on, so I want to check, alignment, stuff like that, make sure it's not too far out, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, obviously there's a ton of adjustment in these doors. If not, you can only slot the hinges and stuff like that to actually bring the door back out from the center line of the car. And so I was talking about the fender being trashed the other day. They just paved it, or caved it and paved it. They didn't even bother to fix the rust underneath, the structure underneath the fender there. That's all rusted out. I mean, I know I can fix it. That's not big of a deal. But at the same time, what I'm saying, it's time versus money. Is it cheaper just to go buy a new fender and fit it, or spend, you know, couple of hours repairing this thing? No, me, I'm lazy. I'll probably end up buying just a new fender because they're cheap enough for like $200 or $300, and then just put some welding rod down in here and fill the gap in or whatever. All right, time to get the windshield and see if that fits. All right, windshield's back in place, as you see, and that gap that was there earlier. Let's see here, it's not there anymore. How about that shit? So now I get to go make that frame I was talking about to locate all this stuff properly, so when I go to cut the pillars out, you go put the new ones in, I can get it right back to the same spot where it was, keep the alignment here pretty good, door alignment don't look too bad on the inside. You get the, don't look too bad on the inside. You know, obviously you can tweak the door in, out, up, down, left, right, any direction we need it to be in. So yeah, 3 hours worth of work of cutting, pulling, manipulating, and all that stuff. Just to get rid of a gap so the windshield sits flush and hopefully doesn't leak anymore. What I set out to do today was to actually make some tabs here off this framework to locate the A-pillars. Throw all this stuff out, move that out a good ½ inch so it fits the glass a lot better, fits the cowl panel a lot better. This whole thing's going to come out, but I got to cut the roof back about to here a little bit so I could get to the welds that are somewhere around up in here. But on the other side, it was kind of a nice surprise that the cover was pretty shot for the A-pillar. There you go. It was pretty rusty, but it came off in one piece. What was kind of nice though was, as you can see, I'm test fitting the new one that goes on there. I don't think I'm going to replace this piece, the whole entire part. I think I'm just going to do the cover. Just because there's some rust up in here. It's not too bad. I mean, if I cut it, I could probably cut it out and re-weld it in, but I might just take a grinder to it and treat it. Not because it's, I know I'm that far into it, I should just take it out and replace it, but at the same time, it's all welded in there, it's all in space. There's no reason really to chop this all apart because it's not all that rusted. A little bit of shit down here. Shit down in here is not too bad. I've seen worse, obviously. Like, look at the fucking car. But we're cutting there, weld it. I think I weld that over. Whoops. So I think that's where I'm at with this for tonight. I think I'm gonna cut that out, the A-pillar over there, and see how far I get. Alright, this is why we did all that work earlier. Moving out, cutting this out here, moving it over a half inch or so to give us a little bit more room. Gap down there, you can't get much better than that. When I really need to get a real camera. So when I go put the cover piece in, that gap in there should be enough for the cover the cover that everybody sees, the outside part. See that, it'll fit down in there fine. A little bit gap in here, it's not too big a deal. Little screw, pull that up and tight, trim that, fit in there good. So as far as I can go for tonight, it's a hell of a lot better than what it was. The what we did for the supports there to locate the new A-pillar definitely worked out great. You clamp to it. Well, man, I will clamp to it in a minute when I go to weld it in permanently. That way I know it's the same spot, and I at least tack it in there on those parts, test the windshield, make sure that fits good. And once that fits good, burn it in with a bunch of spot welds up along here, across the window, up underneath it here, across here. Probably do 2 or 3 spot welds. There's a big spot weld that goes there. So yeah, we're moving along. Just in case the reason why I haven't told anybody, actually I don't think I mentioned it yet, the real reason why I'm doing all the work in this area here first, ends up being, believe it or not, has to do with the rear quarter panels. When you go to do the rear quarter panels, this style line here, or body line here, it's pretty critical, believe it or not. Use the door. You locate the door, get that all squared away, get it located along with the bottom of the rocker. Use some paint sticks, they're like 3/16 of an inch, tape them in place, put the door, hang that, and then go to town on cutting off the rear quarter panel. So that's the reason why I'm doing all this work up front here first, in this area, to get it back to somewhat known good area. Luckily, the driver's side is pretty good to go. I don't have to mess with that. Like I said, I might just do the cover on the over there and just treat the rust. Way quicker, way easier. And it's not that I'm trying to half-ass it. Believe me, I'm not. If I'm doing all this work to cut stuff apart and move things around to get better gaps, I mean, it ain't that much more work to really tear that out. But it's in there. It's pretty solid. So why should I even bother cutting it out? Other just, you know, because it's new? Nah, not even gonna bother with it. What I will do is, I got a little sandblaster. There's some rust down inside of here, and I'll just hose that down with some, what do I got in there now? Oh, coal chips. Blast all that out, get all the rust in there, treat it, and hit it with some etching primer or epoxy primer.